What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Tony Mendoza. But as you can see from behind me, we're not in the heart of the Gulch today. We're at 7th Avenue and Broadway at the Holston House with my man, Ken. What's up, Ken?
What's going on, Tony? Welcome.
What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Tony Mendoza, and like you heard in the intro, we're not in the heart of the Gulch today. We're located here at 7th Avenue and Broadway, Holston House in the bar. Ken, what's the name of this bar right here, man?
Today we're calling it the Raven's Nest, but any other time of year you're going to know it as Bar TENN.
The Raven's Nest, huh?
The Raven's Nest. We've got a wonderful pop-up bar experience here at the Holston House Hotel. It's Gothic literature inspired. We've got craft cocktails. We've got great food. And we are so excited to bring this to Nashville.
You know, every time I've had the opportunity to come to this hotel, but not only this hotel, but this bar specifically, you guys always put on such a great show. And I'm curious to know, what was the behind the scenes to come up with this theme here?
We've got such a great team here, and it's really about the collaboration and effort and execution. And I can't thank my team enough, from Darden and marketing to Puck and Lauren and the entire bar team. We came together and we thought, what would really fit this space? What is not being done? And we've got the Raven's Nest, and as you will see, it is something you need to attend.
Well, okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty about the Raven's Nest, let's talk a little about Holston House. So how long has this place been operational here on Lower Broadway?
Since 1929, continuously.
Since 1929?
Yes.
So I'm wondering, what's your favorite aspect of this hotel?
I think the intimacy of the hotel is just something that you're not going to experience at other properties. We are going to get to know you. You're going to get to know us. You're going to have a curated experience that's going to elevate all of your senses, and it's going to be an excellent experience. We are here to deliver. We are here to serve, and we've got such a talented team in the kitchen, behind the bar. I think our team could compete against any other property out there.
Well, one thing that I was doing research on the Holston House was you guys have a outdoor pool area that overlooks the Broadway area.
We do.
Now, I saw that on the 4th of July, this is probably one of the coolest pools to ever check out here in Nashville.
Well, I guess you're letting the secret out, Tony.
I guess I shouldn't have let them know that.
I mean, yeah, maybe we can cut that. It's a hidden gem, for sure. Heirloom at the top of the hotel. It's a beautiful space. It used to be the garden for the hotel owners when they originally had the property in 1929. They would host garden parties, and that's kind of the tribute to the name Heirloom. And we try and keep it on brand, on point to what the history was. And as you've seen the space, it's just a beautiful area. We've got great views, so close to Bridgestone Arena, so it's a must stop when you're coming downtown.
Well, speaking about must stop, it's about fall time now. When people are watching this, it'll literally be the front of October. So we got all the Halloween vibes going on. And, as we were talking about it earlier, being this the Raven's Nest, must be some awesome curated cocktails that you guys got going on here.
Absolutely. We've got 6 curated cocktails. We have an unbelievable beverage director, Ryan Puckett, who's here with us today. We don't overcomplicate things. We are going to give you a refined, balanced drink that you're going to want more than one of. The whole cocktail list is a shareable experience, so you can order it in a small format, a large format. We use all the spirits, so if you like vodka, we've got a drink for you. If you're into, the whiskey like we're drinking right now, then we've also got a drink for you. In addition to our menu, we've got such a talented team back there that we really work to curate cocktails that you want.
Well, I was looking at the glasses here, and they even have ravens on the glasses, which is a dope touch. But I saw that you guys are also going to have a couple of other things here in the bar this October time. What's this little area that I'm seeing in front of it that you guys will see later on?
On Fridays and Saturdays and Halloween, we will have a tarot reader on site. So, we want to make it fun. We want to have, the all immersive experience, and that's really important. You can get a cocktail everywhere, but are you going to have a tarot reader? Maybe.
Have you ever done that before?
I have not.
Are you a little scared to do that?
I'm scared. Look at me.
Well, okay. Is it, why are you scared to do it?
I just don't want to know some things. Like, I'm better living in the dark. Yeah.
Well, okay, so since, like I said, this is the Raven's Nest, and I'm wondering, if I were to say the word raven, what's the first literature person you would think of?
Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe.
That's right.
Everything you guys have at this bar, which is going to be the Raven's Nest, it's very much friendly to the locals. And we love it who come in, who live here in Nashville. So I'm curious to know, do you guys go in every year hoping to have a new pop-up experience, or is it every once a major season? How do you guys go about that?
It's important to stay relevant, and if you don't make a commitment to do these things, then you are going to fall off the map. So it's intentional that we do it every season. So following this one, we'll have our holiday, our holiday pop-up, our Christmas pop-up. We're not going to disclose that one yet.
We can't give out the information
yet. Not everything right now. But yeah, we want to be a part of the community. We're volunteering in the community. We're fundraising for the community, and we want to serve the community, and that's what we're doing here.
Well, you also said that there's going to be inside this bar here is we're going to also have a couple photo co-ops that you can do here, right?
Yeah, we've got some photo stations here. Obviously, we have the tarot reader that you can get photos with. We may or may not have a pop-up tattoo artist come to the hotel at some point. There will be surprises. I promise you there will be surprises.
And also, going along that theme, what about people coming to the bar experience in costume? Is that something we can also expect this season?
It's highly encouraged.
Really?
It is, yeah.
Well, where's your costume at, man?
I could barely get dressed this morning. So, yeah, a costume probably would be helpful. But we want to have fun. We want everybody to have fun. So, if you want to dress up, dress up. If you don't. If you want to have a bad time, don't come here because we're having a good time.
Well, speaking of clothing, we got to take a quick pause on this episode to thank our sponsors at Manscaped. But when we come back, we're going to be talking to the beverage director. So, Ken, I appreciate your time here, man.
Thanks for coming out, Tony.
Absolutely. This episode has been brought to you by Manscaped. The new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is every man's cheat code to look good, feel good, and turn the page on confidence this year. Go to manscaped.com, use the code GOLTS20 for 20% off plus free shipping today. Roll. Hey, so we're back. So obviously you can tell that we're not in the heart of the Gulch. We're at the Holston House up here in the Raven's Nest, and we got the beverage director, Puck, in the building. What's going on?
Hey, how are you, man?
Man, I'm excited. You've been a busy guy.
Yeah, we're putting together this really, really cool cocktail menu, getting ready for this awesome pop-up. So finding some deep inspiration from Gothic literature and Poe and all of the, the playwrights of the time. It's been a lot of fun writing this menu.
I mean, so talk to me about the inspiration. So obviously Poe inspired 100%?
Not 100%. We have a few other cocktails that are inspired from other writers, but definitely took a heavy influence from Poe's cocktails. As you can tell, a lot of the names come from Poe. We've got like a cocktail called the Nevermore, the Red Death after the Mask of the Red Death, one called the Brew of the Bells after a poem called The Bells that he wrote. And just trying to find not only just slapping a Poe name on it, but trying to make the cocktail feel like it supported that the vibe of that poem, as it were.
Talking about just creating and curating all these amazing cocktails, I mean, what goes into making the perfect cocktail? At least.
For me, like perfection is never quite achievable, but I mean a lot of it is just finding the right balance. You want something that hits, a few different parts of your flavor palette. You want something that like, hey, the ingredients may seem a little bit like, out there, but at the end of the day, it's refreshing or it's boozy, and it's something that like, for me, I mean, perfection is one that a guest wants to get a second one, right? But like, finding that balance of like, hey, this is cool and creative, but it's not unapproachable.
And then when you were going into the literature, I mean, what was it about, Gothic literature? I guess it would be considered Gothic, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So Poe would be Gothic literature. What's it like to, kind of dissect and finding the right phrases for the drinks?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I found a rainy day and I just sat down with Poe poems and just kind of try to get in the headspace of the vibe, and then just picking out ones that felt impactful, picking out ones that, I mean, I think for us, as much as Poe is a recognizable name, maybe his poetry is not as ubiquitous. So finding a lot of the poems that people do recognize, like The Raven or, The Mask of the Red Death, things like that, that are his like kind of greatest hits album, I guess.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, first of all, when you were growing up, because we're not too far out in age, what was your favorite Halloween type literature to read?
Oh, man. Jeez. You guys have some deep cut questions here. I don't know if I really had anything like spooky I liked reading.
Goosebumps?
Oh, yeah, no, Goosebumps. Oh, can I swear? Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, no, Goosebumps. I read every single Goosebump that came out. You're absolutely right.
What was your favorite Goosebumps book?
The one, it's the werewolf kid one. I can't remember the name of it.
Clearwater or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. I mean, it's been a long time since I've read them. It's been about 25 years, so forgive me if I don't remember the titles, but I remember the vibe, yeah.
Do you remember the movies or the movies that would pop up on, I don't know.
A big one for me was actually Ernest Halloween. You ever watch the Ernest movies?
No, I haven't.
It's like, it's like this goofy guy that gets himself in all sorts of shenanigans. But after I moved here, I found out actually Ernest Halloween was shot in 5 Points in East Nashville.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a goofy, silly kind of kids movie, but also uses, I think they used some like Jim Henson like puppets and props in it. It's a really fun watch. Go back and watch it, and you'll see like, it's not the Gulch, but you can pick up some stuff in 5 Points where he filmed it. It's pretty cool.
Well, before we get on to the nitty gritty about these cocktails and showing everyone how amazing they look, I'm curious to know, just going back to the Halloween questions real quick.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Halloween movie?
Nightmare Before Christmas. I know it's technically kind of a Christmas movie as well, but for me, it kind of leans into both. It's that perfect tie-in between, like, for fall season. If I had to pick, like, specific...
That's a controversial pick, though, what you just said.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm a big Tim Burton guy, and I love stop-motion animation. So, like, that one, just for me, really does a lot. If I was going to pick one that's like, hey, this is purely Halloween, it'd be Hocus Pocus.
Okay, which one of these drinks would be the best drink to have watching Hocus Pocus?
I think the Elixir of Dorian Gray is this is the large format serving of it, but it has that sort of like witchy, brewy thing with the teapots. I'll pour you a little bit there.
Wow.
But we got Earl Grey tea, gin, pear, sage, and lemon. It's a really, really delightful drink.
I love the presentation. Cheers. Have you noticed that? Is it rude for me to cheers you and not touch the glass?
That one's controversial. For me, like, I've gotten like yelled at by people for not doing that, so I always do it. But I don't think it's disrespectful. I honestly don't know where that comes from.
Yeah, right. Touching the ground.
Like, so what I've been told is like, here's to you, here's to the bar, and then here's to me. Is where that kind of comes from.
What's your favorite type of bar guest?
One that tips well.
Hey, 100%. And that's another thing. So when you guys have so many different guests come in here all the time,
yeah.
What is what's the most common drink that everyone will ask for?
I mean, these days, espresso martini is the king of the world. I don't like that one. Kind of caught me off guard. That came out like 2 years ago. It just blew up, and now it's just one of those ones that every single person has to have an espresso martini. It used to be like Moscow Mules, old fashions, margaritas, your kind of ubiquitous classic cocktails, but the espresso martini came out of nowhere, and now it is the king of cocktails right now.
What's the busiest that the Raven's Nest you expect it to be this season?
I mean, I expect it to have some like real big weekend nights where like everybody's just hanging out, having a good time, sharing cocktails, sharing stories, sharing poetry, getting their tarot read. I think it's going to be a really fun vibe. I think we've curated a lot of like the aesthetic and the energy and the music, and I think it's really going to play into a space that feels very unique and fun to hang out in.
Have you ever gotten your cards read?
I haven't had my tarot read, but I did have my aura read in New Orleans one time by like a voodoo aura reader.
What was that like?
It was weird. It was, I mean, she like was like kind of on point with some stuff that actually like weirdly enough did come true, but like I don't know if that was like some sort of like
coincidence,
psychosomatic thing where it's like now I think it's true, therefore it is, and I'm gonna make it true. But yeah, it was cool. It was like in this back hallway of this voodoo shop. I sat down with this like. I mean, she honestly just looked like she dropped her kids off at soccer. Like I expected like a woman with like, you know, a bone necklace on and all this weird stuff. And she was just like some normal woman. And she was like, I'm going to tell you your vibe.
Your
and I was
aura?
like, yeah.
Well, you know, speaking of aura.
It felt pretty like a pretty low lift. I was like, you could do a little bit more. Like,
speaking of aura and speaking about the Holston House here, do you ever find yourself here late at night?
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely spent quite a few late nights in here.
Have you ever felt a spooky aura?
Oh, you're asking if it's haunted here?
I'm asking. I didn't say it. You said it.
We've definitely I've heard stories of people having like weird experience, like nothing like bizarre, but like stuff that wasn't where it was supposed to be. Like it was here and then it was over there, or it could have just been a janitor that moved it somewhere. But you know, it's fun to play that stuff up and feed into it. I mean, you got to imagine with a place with this much history that there's probably some sort of history like kind of just built into it at this point. That, you know, maybe there is something. I mean, I personally haven't seen it, but
well, you know what you have seen. You've seen a few more of these cocktails here. So I got 2 more cocktails right here on the bar. So let's definitely talk about these other 2.
So, Brew of the Bells, named after the poem The Bells. It's green apple vodka, celery, honey, lemon. Really, really refreshing, awesome vodka. That's going to be kind of our like crusher cocktail, hoping it sells as well as an espresso martini. I think that one's going to be very popular. And then this one is called the Black Veil.
Wait, real quick. This look right here, what do you call this one again?
The Brew of the Bells.
The Brew of the Bells. First of all, that name is awesome.
Thank you.
And second of all, the way that this is presented looks super fancy.
Yeah, we got these like beautiful cut glass coupes. Really, really I wanted something that definitely looked like a witch's brew potion sort of vibe. So that fresh celery juice gives it that really pop of green. Celery and green apple go great together. It almost tastes like a health drink, honestly. It's surprising that there's alcohol in it at all.
Well, then that means that you did a really good job of mixing that, because the balance looks great. So what's this last one we got right here?
The Black Veil. This one is going to be, kind of inspired by the Irish poets, but it's Irish whiskey, fig, black pepper, and tobacco bitters. So it's kind of like an old-fashioned boozy whiskey cocktail. But like anytime I think of like fall, like kind of like those like darker, deeper cocktails, like fig, peppercorn, and like tobacco, like big seller for me at this time of year.
What is your favorite out of these 3 that you poured for me right here? What's been your favorite?
I love tea and cocktails, and sage is one of my favorite herbs. I think the Dorian Gray cocktail is definitely maybe my favorite of all of them. But it's like trying to pick a favorite child. It's like I made all of them, so I have to be proud of each one, even if I like one a little bit more.
Will you be working the bar this October?
I'm definitely gonna be in the space a lot. You probably won't catch me actually mixing drinks, but I'm gonna be here to make sure that our team is killing it, having fun, making the drinks perfectly for everybody that comes in. So I'll definitely be a frequent face.
Okay, well, before we head out of here, because we got to show the day in the life, I'll tee you up on how to set that up.
Okay.
So everyone can see these drinks in action.
Yeah.
But, just give me your last take on the Holston House and just how the experience here is unlike any other experience in Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, so I oversee multiple hotels. I've worked in hotels downtown, and I think one thing you get here is this. I mean, we've talked about it a bunch of times, but the history of this place and just the design work, and like, it's not that modernistic, like clean, like what's the word I'm looking for? Minimalist aesthetic. Like, this place has character, it has authenticity. It has been standing on this street for 100 years, right? And I think the people here all take a lot of pride in that, take a lot of pride in the space. And like Ken was saying earlier, like, take a lot of pride in the people that choose to stay with us, and just finding those moments to really make every stay here special. And I think this is just another level on top of that, providing this really incredible curated experience for people to enjoy while they also enjoy this beautiful space.
Absolutely, I love it. Now, the way we tee off the Walk the Line segment, that is going to be us checking out the bar with folks in here.
Okay.
Is you look straight into that camera right there, you say your name, you say, this is the Holston House, and this is how we walk the line.
Okay.
All right, you ready to go? You can even pour up a drink right there and
here we
cheers
go.
up to them. So after the applause, you know what to say?
All right.
All right, and 3, 2.
Hey, I'm Puck at the Holston House, and this is how we walk the line.